YouTube. All right. So tonight we have Boots versus Lima. Maybe people was expecting it to be a little bit more competitive. I'm more familiar with Boots, not so familiar with Lima. I seen a video that Antonio Tarver posted up, and I guess it was the keys to victory for Lima, the keys to victory for Boots. Boots went in there like a destroyer, man. He went in there, he did what he was supposed to do. It was a tune-up, and he definitely made it look like a tune-up. It wasn't competitive. I know people might have expected it to be, but even so, man, hard work in the gym will put a wedge in between skill. Maybe people expected it to be done in under 6 also, under 6 anyway, but Boots went in there and he did what we expected him to do. Maybe not so soon, but he still did what we suspected him to do. And we thought maybe Lima was going to last a little bit longer for Boots' introduction to the to 154. Some people still aren't a believer when it comes to Boots. Maybe they need to see a little bit more. I understand that Ortiz is a game fighter, and on paper, him and Boots look good. Skill-wise, in my opinion, I still got Boots' edge in the fight. I even have Boots possibly stopping Ortiz. I think Ortiz is a hard hitter. He's known as a hard hitter. His highlight reels show that. If you don't know him, check it out. But I don't trust that flat-footed Mexican style. We seen the outcome with Canelo versus Crawford. I had Crawford winning. I had Crawford winning the fight before it even came to pass. I thought that Crawford was the more skilled fighter, and I didn't think. I sort of believe that size could be a factor, but skills do pay the bills. And when I listened to fans, a lot of them kept pointing at the fact that Canelo was the bigger man, and I didn't hear enough about them breaking down the skill set of Canelo. Canelo has done good things throughout his career, but I just saw Crawford being the more skilled, better man. And when we look at his past fights, we seen what Canelo kind of struggles with, and that Mexican style kind of pose as a deficit when you when you're going against an opponent that's slick, that got feet, bounce around, that got skill, that know how to measure the distance, that know how to pivot. You're going to be in for one, man, because shout out to Bruce Vane, but he said something in one of his videos. He said that it doesn't take much IQ to perfect Mexican style in so many words. I'm paraphrasing, but it doesn't take much IQ to stand in front of somebody and have a slugfest. I like Ortiz as far as him being a threat to the division. He's one of them guys in the division that you just can't ignore. You gotta acknowledge him. Murders Aliyev is in the division too. He's another one. But I think Ortiz arguably have a loss going against Boacek. So that's one of them things too. And I seen that fight. I don't think that he has the skill set to oppose Boots. I think that what we saw tonight could definitely happen to Ortiz, maybe in the later rounds, but it's something that's up for grabs. I think Boots have the skill. I'm not the biggest Boots fan, but I do like his athleticism. I do like his skill, and we cannot call him a runner. Yes, he does stand in the pocket sometimes, and you guys might say it's a bit reckless that he gets touched up a bit. But if he moves too much, we know what group of people are going to consider him a runner: Mexicans. So Boots is here. He put the division on notice. This was his introduction to 154. I want to see more from Boots. I think that Ortiz fight would be a solidifying bout for him, and I think it'll make more people a believer. I think that Boots goes in there with Ortiz, and maybe it'll go 6 rounds. No disrespect to Ortiz, but again, from what I've seen from Ortiz, I don't think that he has the athleticism to beat Boots. I said it on my other page. I have another YouTube page also, and I said it on my other page. I said it about Crawford. And again, I knew that Crawford was gonna pull it out, and we just have to. I like fans to understand that culture flags don't win fights, skills pay the bills. All right. I know a lot of people get behind a man, and I'm not trying to discourage y'all from getting behind Ortiz, but I want fans to be realistic. Be realistic while cheering. Be realistic while rooting Ortiz on and about. But don't start getting all up in the comments on different pages and under my comments and start saying that, oh, Mexican power, this occult thing that you guys come up with, or Boots is gonna, Ortiz is gonna destroy Boots, and Boots is gonna be another fallen one. Don't let your racism put scales over your eyes. Let's look at the pure skill here. All right. Yes, Boots stay in the pocket again, and he does get touched up somewhat. But in that fight, he might fight a more wiser fight, and that's okay. That has nothing to do with running. That's just being wise. He knows that there's a lot riding on him. He knows that that's a rivalry. Now, if he goes in there and that fight is not competitive, it was never a rivalry. Maybe on paper it is, but he could really put a wedge in between those two right there and show that there's a skill differentiation. I'd like to see what Boots can do in the division at 154. We got Fundora. We got some game guys up there. I still think that Lubin is a game fighter at 154. I'm not doubting Lubin. Lubin can still show and improve, right? So even Rashidi Ellis can jump up if the bag is right. Even Brian Norman can come to the division if there's a big money fight. That's just a few pounds up. Brian Norman, he got a fight on his hand with Devin Haney, but look, he can still jump up too, man. I mean, it's right around the corner. All right, so 154 is stacked and packed. There's a handful of guys, and we don't know who's gonna sit on the throne at the end of the day. But do I think that Boots is gonna sit on the throne? I don't know. But I don't believe Ortiz is gonna sit on that throne. All right, I think when Ortiz gets in there with Boots, that's when it stops. I think Ortiz gets stopped right there. I'm not saying he gets stopped in that fight. I do believe he can. But when I say what I'm saying right now, I'm saying I believe that it stops right there with Ortiz. We got Thurman up there. I wanted to see that Thurman bout versus Fundora, but I heard a rumor about Fundora injuring his hand, I guess, in training camp. Maybe that's something we won't get a chance to see. But yeah, man, like, comment, and subscribe, man. That's my take on Boots versus Lima. And let's see what else they got to offer. Well, let's see what else Boots got to offer. I'm going.